Again, I'm going to start talking about InDesign. Let's first make something inside of Illustrator and bring it in. So, in this case, inside of Illustrator, let's make a little logo or something. I'm going to start with a new file. And let's make a little logo. We'll do the fabulous Raskoff logo here. So we'll do some circles. We'll put some text on there. Oops. There we go. Some fabulous text. If we use a crazy font, here we go. You might want to consider flattening your font before you bring it into another application. What do I mean by that? Well, I've used some kind of crazy font, and I'm going to go from Illustrator to InDesign, and I want the fonts to come over properly. So what I might do is, of course, not flatten like you would in Photoshop. We're going to outline the font by clicking on the font and going underneath the type option and saying, where's my font option? Create outlines right here. Create outlines. What it'll do is it'll convert that text to objects, and then I won't have to worry about my font being different. So again, I'm going to copy this logo here, and we're going to go over to, so I'm just going to highlight all the artwork and copies, Command C on the keyboard. I'm going to go and I'm going to use InDesign. So you can copy and paste right from Illustrator to InDesign. The version of InDesign we're using right now is called, where is it? InDesign CC. InDesign again is made by Adobe. Look, 1999 to 2013. That's how long they've had InDesign. Again, the early versions were really quite weak, but they've really improved it and taken over most of the market share. So InDesign kind of looks like Illustrator a little bit. You got toolbar on the side over here. You have some options up here, but InDesign is primarily made to make multiple page documents as well as apps for your iPad or iPhone. Again, they have something called a digital publishing suite that allows you to make different export out of InDesign in several different ways. There's a couple popular ways of exporting out, of course, of InDesign would be, of course, a PDF, but you can also make something called an EPUB or ePublisher for electronic publishing. You might have seen that inside of Amazon, right? If you buy a Kindle or something like that, you can open up an EPUB. Even on my Android operating system, I can open up an EPUB and read a book. Okay, so you can make an EPUB as well as a native application for your iPhone and iPad inside of InDesign. So they've really incorporated this something, what we call a digital publishing, into the application. The application works by using multiple pages. So to start with InDesign, we go under File, New, just like we would. And under File, New, you'll notice you have different options. You got your document, your book, and your library. Of course, you don't need to specify right away here. You can just say document, and it's going to give you a way of making a document inside of the program. Okay, again, into the document option, you have some presets. Right here, there's one that says intent. Under intent, it's asking you, do you want to do a print for publishing, a web, or digital publishing? Of course, digital publishing would be for your iPad or an iPhone and things like that. And I said we're going to talk about that Thursday, right? So we'll go over it Thursday. Let's just do a print for right now. The first option is number of pages. You don't have to specify the number of pages up front, but of course, if you already know how many pages you want to use, you can put that in there. The facing pages option is if you're going to make a book that has more than one page, like like if you're, this would be something that is facing pages, right? You have one on here and one over here. See, facing pages. If you're going to make something that just is one page at a time, you can turn it off, and I'm going to turn it off. But if you want, you can do facing pages if you want. You can have it start at page 1. In addition, you have your default sizes. You got your letter, your legal, your tabloid, and you can put any size you want in there. You have horizontal or vertical, landscape or portrait. You have columns where you can actually split the document up into more than one column of information in there. I'm going to leave everything kind of default here for now. And margins would be like a line that goes around your document so that you can see how close to the edge you are. So I'm going to actually leave this rest of this to default for right now, and I'm going to hit OK. And it makes a blank document. Kind of looks like the artboard inside of Illustrator, but woo, it's a lot more powerful. A lot more powerful. So whenever you're using InDesign, what you're really doing is you want to make multiple pages, and in a lot of the multiple pages you want to make them maybe similar, right? You want to make them kind of similar, like the way I made the artboards inside of Illustrator, right? Remember I had an artboard and an artboard that were similar. So, but in InDesign, you want to make it as what we call a master, okay? And so what a master is a way of making a page that has all the elements you want on it, okay, so that you can make multiple pages from that master. And to look at the master, you go under Pages, okay, it's a pop-up window right here. It's called Pages right here. And you'll notice there's one inside there called A Master. You can actually have more than one master per document. But right now there's a default master. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to alter the master by double-clicking on it in the Pages window here. It doesn't look a lot different, but I am in the master right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of set my document up so that it has some things in it. So I'm going to maybe make some colors. I'm going to put some colors at the top of my document here. Maybe make kind of a rectangle up here. Maybe inside my rectangle I might make some colors. Let's put some color in there. Got a nice purple color there. Nice, beautiful purple. Yeah, purple's fine. Maybe turn off the stroke. I don't want a stroke in there. And you can put a gradient in there if I want. I believe so. Let me see. Yeah, there's a gradient. So I put a gradient in there so it's kind of nice and soft. There's a gradient option like you would have a gradient option inside of Illustrator. So at the top of my document, I have a nice kind of gradient at the top of my document. Then, remember I copied my logo from Illustrator, and I can paste it right inside of InDesign here. So all I'm going to do is hit Command V and paste my logo in there. Here's my fabulous logo from Illustrator. And one of the things to keep in mind when you bring things in from other applications, if you bring a picture into InDesign or you bring some artwork like Illustrator into InDesign, InDesign renders the artwork at a low quality. That way the program doesn't have to struggle to display the image in highest quality. So if you look at my thing, it looks kind of rough, doesn't it? If you look there, you'll see the edges look kind of rough. It doesn't look very smooth. See, it's kind of rough looking. It doesn't look very smooth. So if I right-click on my artwork, though, if I find it, I can go to where it says Display Performance and say High Quality Display. And if you right-click and say High Quality Display, then you'll see it in the highest quality. Oh, I didn't see it change, did you? Maybe it is already in the highest quality. But just keep that in mind. You might need to do that, especially with photographs, if you want to see them in high quality. So let's just say this is going to be at the top of each one of my pages. I put it in the master. Next, maybe at the bottom of the page, I want to have what? I want to have my copyright info like I had it before. So I'm going to make a text document, make a text box, and I'm going to put my name and the date. And then before my name, I want to put the copyright symbol. Of course, you do have kind of glyphs inside here if you want. There is glyphs like you had inside of Illustrator. That's one way to get to your copyright symbol. But there's also inside of InDesign, you also have special characters. And under symbols, insert special character symbols, you got like your bullet, your copyright, your ellipse, your paragraph symbol, and so on. So I'm just going to say copyright symbol there, and there I have it. So that's at the bottom of my page. And then, of course, since we're making a multiple page document, you might want to have a page number, right, at the bottom of each page. So we're going to use actually InDesign to multiple put pages at the bottom of our document. So if I'm going to copy this text box here for a moment, put it over here. And I'm going to delete this text here. And I'm going to put a page number in there. So let's put page. And then I'm going to put a number in there. So to put the page number in there is underneath type. Let me see if I remember. Special characters, markers, and we're going to put current page number right there. So if we go under type, insert special character, marker, current page number right there, boom. It puts an A in there, but that's okay. We're in the master. When you get to a page, okay, like a real page, it'll actually put the number in there. And then, of course, we want our text to be right aligned here. There we go. So what I've just done is I put some artwork on there. I got my my logo at the top of my page. I have my page here. And then I have... we'll call this the master. So the master is a way of making artwork that will be on all the pages. The downfall, of course, of a master is you can't alter the master. You have to go back to the master to alter it, if you know what I mean. Okay, the master's kind of locked, right? The position of this stuff will be the same on every page because it's kind of locked. Think of the master as like a piece of paper that has the same artwork on it each time. So when I'm done with my master, you'll notice, remember I was over here in master over here. If I go to my page 1 in my document, I'm under pages inside of InDesign. If I go under pages, you'll notice I'm on page 1. Oh, look at the very bottom of the screen. See how it says page 1 now? Imagine that. So then I can start building my layout for my pages here. Maybe I want to have like a subtitle here. Subtitle here. This is my, we can put a title, my title. And maybe we make that kind of big. And then maybe I make a column of text. I'm using the text tool here, and I'm going to draw a box here. Maybe it's a column of text here. We have some column of text here. Woo, you didn't think I could type that fast, did you? And then maybe we can bring in some pictures if you want. We can place an image in there. Let's place some images in there. Let's see what we got here. What did I? No, that was horrible, wasn't it? Oh, here's the West Valley map. Oops. I had the text document selected. I didn't want to have it in there. I'm sorry. Before I put the map in, I should deselect the text box as it thinks you want to put that in the text box. There we go. So we have a map in there. And then, I don't know, you can lay out your page. You can have pages go from one page to the next. So again, I can't change the logo. The master locked. But of course, I can make a new page. So if I've finished my page 1 here, what I can do inside of InDesign is I can right click on my page and say duplicate spread. What that does is it duplicates everything from this page and puts it onto a new page. So the master comes along, I'm on page 2 right now. Notice it says page 2 right there. And I can then go and change my title. This is page 2. You can retype your text. I can change the photo if I want by placing a new image inside there, by selecting that and choosing a new image. What do I have for a new image? There we go. So I can place a new image in there and it'll fit into that size it was before. You might make the window bigger a little bit here. So this is my page 2. Then I can go and make another page. Page 3. And so on. So you could go and make as many pages as you want. Now you don't have to use the master because let's think about it. In my title, let's say the title of my document, I don't want a master. I don't want the master to be on my title screen's a little bit different. You can actually turn off the master. So if I'm going to make a new page here. Let's make a new page. Insert page. At the very beginning. Oops. I want to move it up there. Let me put it at the beginning. Move it up. Come on. Move around. Let's move it around. There we go. So I have a new page at the beginning, but the problem with my new page at the beginning, it still has all my master stuff on it. And I don't want my master stuff on there. So you can actually turn off the master. There in the pages option here, underneath pages right here, under pages right here, you'll notice there's when it says none right there. See how it says none? If I drag this none right here onto my page here in the pages window, it'll turn off the master and I can then reformat this page to whatever I want. So I can bring my logo back in. Let me place my logo in there. Did I save my logo? I didn't save my logo, did I? I don't think I did. Let me save my logo here. Let me save my logo. Yeah, here we go. Let's crop this down a little bit here. Okay. Save as, you can save as Illustrator, it's fine. So the advantage of InDesign is that you can use all the Adobe native formats in InDesign. So I can place my logo in here. Where's my logo? There it is. And I can draw it as big as I want. There we go. Again, it's not rendered nice and smooth. If I right click on it, I can go display performance and say high quality. Ooh, it'll be nice and smooth. So I have my logo in there, and then let's place a picture in there. What do we have? Let's grab one of our poster examples. Maybe another one. I'll put 2 of them in here. Oops. Don't have something selected when you place it in. It thinks you want to remove that. And you can designate sizes. There we go. And so, and then let's put some text on there. And then we can resize that if we want. There we go. So it's a really important, I think, application that you should all learn. You'll notice I have multiple pages now. I have my first cover page. It doesn't have the master. My second page has the master. My third page has the master. My fourth page has the master. Notice how it changed the page numbering automatically there from my cover page to this page to this page to this page. And you can fix that if you wanted this to be still page 1. You can actually just remove it off this first page and things like that. There's ways of fixing that. But again, you can save this as an InDesign file. Let's save as, I'm going to call it sample InDesign 1. And let me put it on the desktop. Yeah, you got a messy desktop too, and I know you do. But I could save this as a PDF. So if I go under File, I can go Export or Save PDF right here. I can say High Quality right here. Or you can say Export for PDF. Now there's different types of PDFs inside of InDesign because InDesign can do, of course, interactive things. I think we talked about how you can make digital publishing with this. Notice how one of the PDF options inside of InDesign is called Interactive. It has Adobe PDF Interactive, which allows you to have hyperlinks, video links, and things like that inside of InDesign. Since I don't have any links like that, we'll do links like that on Thursday if you like. We'll go under PDF print here. I'm going to go and export it out. And of course it has the kind of the same features that you saw inside. You have your compression and things like that. The same features you saw inside of Illustrator. Of course, we don't have hyperlinks, so included that. That doesn't really make any sense. So let's hit export. And it should show up. Hopefully it shows up. Let's see, where did it go? Didn't I put it? Oh, here it is. We can open that in Acrobat. And you'll see, oh, look how nice that is. Hope I spelled Illustrator wrong. See that? Page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4. Any questions? It doesn't look that hard, does it? No? Yes?